Happy morning to all of you. All right. Now, I find that most of you don't come on time. It's actually unfair that I'm telling this to those who are already here, because those who are not here are the ones who should be hearing this. Anyway, there is a nice little story. Gandhiji used to have prayer meetings both in the morning and in the evening. And he used to walk briskly. And he would go to the prayer meeting, attend the prayer, talk to the people, and that was his routine. And on one particular day, it so happened that there was so much of crowd and he was not able to reach the prayer meeting on time if he were to walk. And you know, he used to walk very, very briskly. So he borrowed a bicycle from somebody and he said, if I'm late by 5 minutes and if there are 100 people waiting there for me, the total number of minutes wasted will not be 5, that it will be 5 into 100. And I cannot have 500 minutes getting wasted. So what kind of thinking does it show?
That he was punctual.
He was punctual, yes. Darshan, you need to keep your screen a little erect because I only see the top of your head. I don't see your face at all. Yeah. Come a little closer. Yeah. What else? All blank screens, can you please? Yes, that's better. All blank screens, can you tell me? Write in the chat or unmute yourself and speak. Otherwise, we'll be wasting time. Yes? What does it say?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes?
Miss, it says that he doesn't want to waste other people's time.
Absolutely. He has a respect for others' time. He has a respect for others' time. We have to respect that. Others' time is equally important. They've all come on time and we have to respect that. And this is something we need to tell the others who were not here today on time. With that, we start with our presentation for the day. All right. Now what you see here, children, is the Himalayas. And you see here something which is bright, that is that part of the mountain is getting the sunlight and it shines golden. I'm not a mountaineer. I've not scaled the Mount Everest, but on one of the flights, I remember, the pilot pointed out Mount Everest and we could see it. And I have that photograph somewhere. I couldn't locate it. Otherwise, I would have liked to show it to you. From the top, we have the Mount Everest view. It was beautiful. Now, this is my Bharat, my India. Now, 100 years from now, I want my India to be better than what it is today. Yes or no? If it's yes,
Yes.
let me see the thumbs up.
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So if that is so, what are the things that are wrong with my India today? I'll see the chat. Oops. Type in quickly. Illiteracy, corruption, pollution.
Population.
Sorry? Poverty.
Population.
Population, overpopulation, yes. Poverty, unemployment, excellent. No privileges given to women. Good. Political and social issues, what? What are the political and social issues? I'll skip that. Lack of education. Now, who can make a change here? The government? Who can make a change? Answer that. People?
Ma'am,
Which people?
excuse me,
Students?
ma'am.
Yes, that's sure.
Government and the public, I mean audience altogether.
Each of you. You remember Ryan's Well Foundation I talked about last time?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
How old was Ryan when he
6
started
years.
thinking of Ryan's Well Foundation? How old was he?
6 years.
He was 6 years old. And see the change that he brought to Ethiopia? So each of you is accountable if you want to bring in a change. It only takes one to start. Let's see the next slide. The power of one. One tree can start a forest. One smile can begin a friendship. You're sitting down at the doctor's office, doctor's clinic, and you're not feeling good. And there comes a person who smiles at you, and it starts a friendship. Somebody has fallen down, and you just extend your hand, give the support, lift the person, and one word can frame the goal. You remember Bhag, Milka Bhag, how it created an impact on Milka Singh? You remember that movie? One candle can wipe out the difference. And one laugh can conquer the gloom. Everybody is sitting down quietly, and one laugh can conquer that. Remember once I had told you, you're watching a movie where there is a booth coming in or something like that, and the door noise happens. And just at that time, when everybody is sitting down, chewing the fingernails, getting scared, and somebody laughs, what happens? That whole mood changes, isn't it? One laughter can change the mood. One hope can raise our spirits. अरे क्या होगा इस देश का? अरे इस देश का क्या होगा? We need to work on it. So we have hope that we can do something. Yes or no? 2047 children, I won't be around. I won't be around for 2047. But it is you who will have to make a difference. A touch can show that you care. Somebody is sitting down crying, and you go there, pat the back, ruffle the hair. That will make a difference. One action can make a difference. I have taken 3 examples of people who have made a difference, who show the power of one for our country. They may not be the only ones. There are many, but I just thought they are important from my perspective. I would like to share that with you. Here are the 3 people. First is J.R.D. Tata. J.R.D. was born in the Tata family, which you know. His mother was French, so some of his growing up years was spent in France. And he spent a lot of time with the rich and the noble. When some of us didn't even know what it is to sit in a plane, he had learned to fly the plane. And in 1930 or 1932, if I'm not mistaken, he started a postal courier service from Karachi to Mumbai. See, it's written here, Karachi to Ahmedabad to Mumbai, Tata Airline. And this courier service of 1932 became the first, which led to the Air India and the Indian Airlines that followed later. So it was the power of one JRD who led to the formation of the national airline. Second example I have here is the Dandi March. Dandi March began on the 12th of March in 1913. Gandhiji started his famous march with 79 followers, and they were to walk 10 miles every day for 24 days and cover the distance of 240 miles. The British did not want this civil disobedience movement to catch momentum. They arrested Gandhi, and they thought with Gandhi's arrest, the civil disobedience movement, the Dandi March, will come to an end. But that didn't happen. There was a press correspondent called Webb Miller. And Webb Miller has written about the Dandi March. I want to read a couple of lines from there. The poetess, wearing a rough homespun robe, soft slippers, and no stockings, told her followers, although Gandhi's body is in prison, his soul goes with you. She motivated the group of people to continue the Dandi March. So what started off with 79 swelled to thousands of people. And the police, he says, 400 police clutched their clubs, and about 25 of them revealed their rifles as volunteers approached. There were a few cheers, and then the leaders who had ropes attempted to lasso the post, holding up the barbed wire, intending to uproot them. The police ran up to stop the volunteers. Volunteers refused. So what did the police do? The police used their clubs. The volunteers who were hit simply reeled over to the ground without making a cry or an effort to defend themselves. The more the volunteers fell down, the more the volunteers came in. The man who was so treated did not make a sound and submit without protest or resistance, and submitted without protest or resistance. And he continues to say, many of the volunteers were college students. They spoke English. I was an American correspondent, and they talked freely to me, but they refused to give me transportation because I wore foreign clothes, which were boycotted by them. So there was one man who led to this civil disobedience, who got us the freedom. He used the civil disobedience movement to ask for the rights of the people. Now, where are all these feelings or emotions? Do we still have them? Before I go to Satyarthi, I want to know.
Yes, miss.
Do we still have them? Unmute and speak, children. That's so much better than...
Yes, miss.
Yes, we have them. I don't see them. How many of you have never skipped a red signal? How many of you have never told a lie? How many of you have answered back to the elders? How many of you have not skipped August 15th and 26th January? I'm
Miss,
asking
I have
you.
never skipped
Good.
the Independence Day.
Good for you, Bharat. Good. But I'm generally asking. So where has this emotion gone? Where have all these feelings gone? It only surfaces on the 15th of August and 26th of April? Should it be there all the time? Yes or no? Okay, you don't want to answer. We'll continue. Now, Kailash Satyarthi is the third person that I've chosen. He won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2014. He's an engineer who gave up his job in 1980s and he joined an organization called Bachpan Bachao Andolan. In this organization, they wanted education to be given to all the children, and they took care of the children who were abused, who were molested, who were raped. And I've got an excerpt. I edited it myself. I want you to hear that. It is a part of his Nobel Peace Prize acceptance speech. Just listen to it.
And just 1 week of military expenditure can bring all the children to classrooms. I refuse to accept that all the laws and constitutions and police and judges are unable to protect our children. I refuse to accept that the shackles of slavery can ever be more stronger than the quest for freedom. I refuse to accept here. My only aim in life is that every child is free to be a child. And just 1 week of military expenditure.
Sorry. Now, his one aim in life is for every child to have childhood. What kind of a statement is this? What does it mean to you? Quickly.
Ma'am,
Yes?
it means that every child should be able to enjoy his or her childhood.
What is it that you enjoy in your childhood?
Miss that funny moments, that time with your friends, which
Yes.
and like the immature behavior we used to have in that period of time. Then even the things we used to do were
Who is
so
this
much
speaking?
easy.
Bharat, is it?
Yes, Miss.
Bharat, you are still a child.
Miss,
Yeah.
it's
Go ahead.
it's been a transition now.
Okay, or you are in a transition stage. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So it was a nice time where we would do less things, be enjoying the whole time, and
Yeah.
like that.
Yes. It was a time where you enjoyed innocence, where you enjoyed being with your friends. So when something like this happens to the children, they lose their innocence and they lose their childhood. And that is what Satyarthi wants. Okay, now there is yet another person, and I want you to tell your story here. Now this man, wait. Now, Dashrath Manji belonged to the lowest of the caste system that is prevalent in India. He lived in a village where medical facilities were not available. And to get the medical facilities, they had to climb over a mountain and reach to the other side. His wife was pregnant and she had to climb the mountain to reach to the other side. She fell down and she delivered a baby girl, but she could not get the medical facility and she died. What did Dashrath Manji decide to do? He took a hammer and he took a chisel and he decided he would break the mountain and make
Yeah, there was a movie Manji.
Absolutely. There was a movie made by, I don't know who, but there was a movie made on him. And it took him 22 years to make a road which was 360 feet long and 30 feet broad. If it is 30 feet broad, which means a truck can go, right? He made a road that big. 22 years. And what did people tell him? Pagal hai. Why? Why did he have to make
Miss,
a
because
road?
he was his memory or his past hit him so hard that he was so much disturbed that he had no choice but to do something that will not
He
only
could have said, my wife is no more. Now what does it matter to me what happens to the rest of the village? Bhaad mein gaye.
miss, because he wanted that nobody should suffer as the way his wife suffered because of such
Okay.
conditions.
He also wanted to do some community work and help the others. Humanitarian gesture, philanthropism. What has happened to me need not happen to others. That feeling does not come to everybody. जाने देना, मेरे साथ नहीं हुआ है ना. Let it be. It doesn't matter to me what happens to the others. I am fine. So this is what he did. For 22 years, not one or two. And 4 years after he died, the government made a road, a proper road, a metal road in the place where he had made a road. So let me continue with the share screen. All right. There have been people who have been responsible for what I am today. There have been many, but I've just chosen 3. First is my dad. He was the one who taught me the right values. You have the money, people will respect you. But without values, will anybody hire you? I want you to think,
No.
stop and think, children. Tomorrow, you go for a job interview and you don't have the kind of values that you're expected to have. Will the person who is interviewing you hire you?
No.
Most definitely not. So what is it that you require? You require the right kind of values. Honesty, integrity, truthfulness, loyalty. These are all some of the values that you need to have. And the second person who influenced me was my brother. He was the one who said, you can continue to study. Age is not a bar. And the third person who made a difference in my life was my teacher. I've had many teachers who have made an impact, but she's the one I'm referring to here because she was my teacher when I was doing my B.Ed. When I was doing my B.Ed, there were times where I was upset that things didn't go the way they had to go, because I'm an achiever and I want to do well and I want everything to be done to the perfection. And when things didn't happen that way, I used to get upset. But she was there to help me out. And she used to teach us educational sociology. And that she used to be so good that I decided to do my master's in sociology. And there was a time where I wanted to leave the job and take up another job. 6:30 in the morning, she calls me along with her husband to give me an advice as to how I should draft my resignation letter so that it will be accepted without hurting anybody's feelings. That's the concern she had for me. And I look up to her with respect. Mrs. Usha Bhatia, she has made an impact on me as a teacher. Okay, here you go. Perkusa Risargo. What it means is that You have a fall, but then you get up. You've had a fall in such a way that it appears as if you're not going to stand up again and that you've failed completely. But then you pick up your reserves, you pull yourself up and rise and continue to do what you want to do. And it can be compared to rise like a phoenix from the ashes. This is an idiom. You can use this idiomatic phrase, to rise like a phoenix from the ashes. Phoenix is a mythological bird, according to Greek mythology. It burns itself, and as from the ashes rises a younger phoenix. Now, to give you an example, I've taken Hiroshima. Hiroshima was bombed. A nuclear bomb was dropped by the Americans during World War II on, anybody remembers the date? August 6th and August 9th. That was yesterday. The nuclear bomb was dropped. 90% of the city's 76,000 buildings were destroyed in no time. 40% were reduced to ashes. But what did the Japanese do? Resurrection begins. What did they do? Power came back to Hiroshima railway station on 7th of August. In 1 day's time, they managed to restore the power. Water pumps began working 4 days after the bombing. The Central Telephone Exchange Bureau that was destroyed, on August 14th, experimental lines were back in operation. That is the sense of commitment that the Japanese have for their country and to themselves. Look at Nagasaki, Hiroshima today. What a difference. So humans destroyed Hiroshima, but humans also rebuilt it. The Japanese rebuilt it. In 2011 March, on the Richter scale number 9, the earthquake measuring number 9 on the Richter scale hit Japan, and the tsunami that was the result of that earthquake destroyed a lot of property in Japan. This happened in March. In May, I happened to visit Japan. People told me, no, this may not be the right time, etc., etc. But my son was there. I wanted to visit him, so I went to Japan. What do I see? Everything is back to what it was. And I believe during the tsunami, people were in the mall shopping. And what they had taken in their hands, they put it back on the shelves, children. They didn't take it home saying, now is a chance for me to get it free. They put it back on the shelf because they felt they shouldn't take it because there was nobody at the counter to collect the money for that. They put it back and went home. That is the sense of accountability that they have. That is why Japan has made huge strides after being almost destroyed in the World War II. Can you name 4 products? I want to see it in the chat. 4 products that Japan is famous for and 4 products that America is famous for. Quickly. Four products of Japan you will type first. I want to see it. Fatafat. Cars, automobiles, whatever that comes to your mind. I mean, cars, cameras, TVs, whatever that comes to your mind. I've given you the clue also. What is this AC Cars Japan, Bharat? Be specific, please. Flavors of Kit Kat from where? Flavors of Kit Kat from where? The US, Japan. Buses without drivers. I've traveled in trains also without drivers. Coke from the US. Okay. Apple. Okay, from the US. Okay. Cherry blossoms. That's the nature. That's the beauty of the nature. All sorts of vending machines. From where? What is the full name of our Maruti cars? Toyota, yes. Sony, Panasonic. What is the Maruti Suzuki? Suzuki comes from where? Japan. Now, what product was easier for you to mention? Honda, that's right. What product was easier for you to mention? American product or the Japanese product? Which was easier? Both? Which is more popular? Supposing today China were to stop giving exports, I mean, sending products to America. Japan were to stop sending products to America. What will happen? That's another debate. We'll take it up some other time. All right, let's go to the next slide. A champion wins. Champion wins for himself. A hero wins and lifts one person up. Now, a superhero is the one who wins and lifts many. Now, what is Japan? Champion, hero, or superhero? Yes? Superhero.
A
All right.
superhero.
In the last class, I had become a superhero. You remember? Memory is bad, I think, 10 standards.
Glad woman.
Glad woman. So what was the glad woman trying to do? What was the glad woman trying to do? Yes? Make an impact of what? Make an impact of what? What does GLAD stand for? Gratitude. L stands for happiness, laughter. Laughter. A stands for? A stands for? Children, I thought you had fun and you remembered everything. Amusement, ambition, yes. And D stands for development. Now, these are all things which are necessary for you to grow. You need to have gratitude. You need to have some kind of a happiness. You laugh and you laugh and you laugh. The world laughs with you. You cry and you cry alone. You also keep saying, "Arey, wo to rotdu hai, chhod do usko." So these are the values that you need to have if you have to improve. And the most important thing, the most critical thing right now is Bharat needs superheroes who are willing to win and lift up many others along with them. The power of what? Power of one. The power of one is what you need. Okay? All right. Now let's see the chances of success. So why is it that Hiroshima was totally destroyed, but within days they were able to set things right? Malad flyover, there was a landslide. Has it been set right? Not yet. So why is it that it was set right in no time? Because they had determination and accountability. Accountable to whom? Accountable to oneself. Not accountable to anybody. He is doing, so I am doing, it doesn't work. I am doing because I want to do it. I can tell you this one more thing. The Japanese policemen do not carry any weapons because there is no crime in Japan. We had left a knapsack carrying the camera, carrying the handycam, and I don't know what other things were there. I'm talking about 2011. And we left it in the park. And we came home. Nobody knew because we were happy. We were doing some other things of our own. And we got a call from the lobby. Have you left a bag in the park? Then we started looking. Yes, we have. Okay, please come down and collect it. Can that happen in India? Maybe not.
At this moment is not happening.
Maybe not. That's what I said. It may not happen. Because there is no determination and there is no accountability, self-accountability. Am I doing the right thing? When you have that accountability, 90% of success chances are there. Now, Bharat at 100. There are two things that you need to do. Exercise. How do you want to see Bharat and what role will you play? Now, this is something I want to have a discussion with you now. How do you want to see the Bharat at 100? I won't be around. I want you to tell me. Yeah.
Miss, may I?
Yes, please.
Miss, more developed than what China and USA are to this day, and maybe similar like Japan, wherein we have the qualities which Japan has. Like an amalgamation of all the good things and leave away all the bad things in the past.
Okay. Which bad things do you want to leave behind?
Miss, things like corruption, things like less education given to people. Because if more education is given, then people will be literated and then they will get more jobs, leading to a good economy of India. Then things like proper treatment and gender-based equality, so that people are not treated and their personal space is not violated at the same time. Then things like wherein there is a...
Wait, let somebody else speak now. Let somebody else speak, please.
Ma'am?
Yes, please. Yes, Darshan.
By 2047, I
Yes.
want two things. One is electric car. The reason is because now since we are using electricity, so then the fossil fuels will be saved. Either electric car or hydrogen car, and
Yes.
full electrification in railways.
Now, what you need to do is you need to tell me what role will you play? You need an electric car, but what role will you play?
Miss, I want to become an environmentalist.
Okay. Fine. And do what?
Find and make the things in the market that will benefit the people and will reduce the pollution, as well as it will build a reputation for a subject like EVS, wherein people don't even know what is EVS at the first place, and then second, they don't understand what is the like the main point of having EVS. Because today, for just an example that we can find in today's life itself, like the rains are being so invariable that once, like for a moment it's so slow and the other moment it's so fast. Like as in people will not only be affected, but the crops, the whole economy will be affected due to these things.
Okay. So now, what I want you to do is think of these two exercises and make a video of less than 3 minutes. Okay. I have made a video keeping these two things in mind. I'll show it to you. Similarly, you will make a video and you will first mail it to me because I want to see it first. And once I approve it, we will mail it to Keep Moving Movement Organization. And they're going to publish it or maybe give you prizes. They've not still decided what they're going to do. But what I want is, I want my children to send the video because they are doing this exercise pan-India. I want my children to do something for our country. Can you do that? Hello? What happened? Suddenly everybody has gone quiet? Everybody has gone quiet? Now what will be in the video is what you will do. You want to see the Bharat at 200. What is your vision and what role will you play? That is what you're going to do. I'll show you the video that I have made. Have a look, then we can discuss again. Okay? A very happy morning to all of you. I'm Dr. Pramila Kudva. I'm the principal of a reputed school in North Mumbai. 2047, we would like to see a better India. Is it an achievable target? Yes, I should think so. As teachers, there is a large responsibility that rests on our shoulders. It is for us to hone the character of the children who happen to be the future citizens. And I have selected honesty and integrity as a value for 2047. It all began in Japan 7 years ago. At the railway station, if you're waiting for the Shinkansen, which is the Bullet Express, there are different fares allotted to different kinds of Bullet Express. And if you have a ticket which has got a lower fare than the one which is expected, you can still board the train, get down at your destination, go to a kiosk and pay the difference. How is it that every Japanese does this? Is it because it's an ancient civilization? We are an ancient civilization too. But that concept of honesty and integrity is not ingrained in us. So what is it that we can do? We have thought of two different processes. First, every teacher has to be a role model. Second, we have introduced introspection sheet which makes the children reflect on what they have done, what they should have done and why it is wrong. We have had minor successes and I would like to share those success stories with you. A few girls were playing in the car park area. They were playing hide and seek and in the process of the sport, they ended up breaking the number plate of one of the cars. Ideally, the students would have run away. But these children came back to the principal, confessed to what had happened as a mistake. And the teacher was called in, they apologized to her, and the teacher magnanimously forgave them. Second incident. A student was allotted a 100% attendance prize at the end of the academic year. The child walks up to the teacher and tells her, "Ma'am, I do not deserve it because I was absent for a day." No doubt the child did not get a 100% attendance prize, but she did get one for truth and integrity. This is the tip of the iceberg. We have a long way to go. In both the instances, there were girls. However, I think what we need to look at is the power of one. It takes one to start the wave. Thank you. So after getting the approval, we will upload it to this number so your videos can be shared. I'm stopping the share. Now, is it clear to you what you need to do? What the video should be? It's clear to you?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, whatever is your vision, whatever is your dream, you need to look at it as the power of one, that power which starts from you. The reason is there has to be accountability. You need to decide what you want to do. Is that clear? Yes or no? I'm looking at the chat.
Yes.
Yes, miss.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. You may leave now.